Hello everyone, lots going on here in the studio. I'm saying lots going on, but I've been away for a few days. I went over to London to meet my sister. I had a great few days. So since I've been back, it's been really hard to get back into things. Well, I've been doing things and nothing's been going right. And I've just, another thing, well, I'll just tell you what we're going to do. Today I'm going to show you how I created this painting from start to finish, not totally the whole thing, but the painting process. This painting was kind of a new way of doing things for me, because if you've been watching my videos, I kind of make a big mess, then pull things out and kind of decide what I'm going to paint as I'm doing the process. But on this one I started with a drawing, which I don't usually do. Well, not for years and years and years have I done that. So this was a bit of a different thing, and since then I've been doing more drawing as I started, well, sketching ideas and then kind of drawing them onto the canvas. So this starts with a drawing, and today I'm ready to start a new canvas. This one, I'll show you. I was just doing some drawing on it and I thought, oh no, I'm not happy with the drawing, I need to rub it out. So I thought I'll take it downstairs and rub it out outside. I didn't want to get rubber everywhere. I took it downstairs and I don't know, there's a tear in it. I don't know how I've done it from getting upstairs from my studio to downstairs. I don't know. So trying to think positive, trying to think it's for a reason. So maybe I'll cut this up and see what happens. Now, someone's knocking at the door. I've got to go. Things keep interrupting me all the time. Anyway, enjoy the video. See you soon. So like I said, starting with a drawing. You can see the faint pencil drawing I did behind. Now I'm bringing it out a little bit with, I think I'm using pastels there. Adding my usual ink drips, becoming my little trademark, that, and filling in the background. Like usual, I'm starting with my mixed media techniques, adding some collage and I'm working all over on the canvas, not just in one area, moving all around. So here I'm going Speedy Gonzales. Obviously it's on fast speed, but it's not all. Here we go. I'm in normal time in certain areas of this video and speeded up in some areas as well. So not to make the video too long. If you do enjoy watching my painting processes, my little videos, my studio life, then don't forget to subscribe. That way you get notified of any new videos that I bring out. If you've got any arty questions, then do feel free to ask me down below in the comments. Probably say this in every video, but this is one of my favourite techniques, using inks. And I've got this little pipette. Squeeze it out to drip onto the canvas. Here I've gone in with a palette knife. Always using different tools, different ways of making marks with the paint. It's kind of scratching in with the end of the palette knife. So when I said at the beginning that this was a different kind of way to start for me, which is true, as in starting with a drawing, but I'm still using all my techniques that I use to start a painting with mixed media. And I'm quite liking it. I've done a few, I've started a few now in this way, and I'm still get all messy, as you can see. Still get all messy and play around, and a lot of this is going to get covered up like usual, but I think all these layers that kind of create this history of the painting as they build up, and some of them you will see, some of them you won't, but it all adds interest, and I love that. I love the fact that some of the very initial marks you can still see, and some of them you can't, but that feeds into the next step of the painting process. Really loading up my palette knife with paint here, getting some texture into these flowers. I'm not sure if I did say, but I use acrylic paints to start with, and then I move on to oil paints when I get towards the very end. I do some glazing and use oil paints with brushes and palette knife, same. But so it just adds that another layer and a kind of vibrancy, I feel, that you can't really get with acrylics, I don't think. I was at the art shop this week, in fact, and I was chatting to the salesperson there, a nice guy, and I was asking him about water-based oils, and he seemed to think that I've never tried them, but he seemed to think, well, feedback from his customers say that they really do quite like them. So I did buy a couple of tubes to have a little play around and test. So I'll be trying that out, so maybe I could make a video about that. Well, yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea. So yeah, another experiment. So the idea for this painting came to me, well, it started one evening. I was coming back from an opening night of an exhibition, actually, with a friend in the car, and we drove past and just sat on a post. It was quite a main road, it wasn't really a quiet country lane. It was this owl, and it really struck me to see this owl just sat on a post at the side of a road when it was night. But I always feel, I think I've probably talked about this before when I was talking about my stag painting, that when you see an amazing wild animal bird like this, it's always like they want to send you some sort of message. My stag painting I did call Messenger of Light. And I want to start talking about that one now, because you just pop over and watch the video. I'll link it below or at the end on the screen. Here I'm going in with some gold leaf, another part of my process that I've been using a lot lately. I'm loving this as well, adding this kind of bit of gold glimmer. I'm really liking that at the minute. So going back to my owl story, after seeing this owl shortly after, maybe it was even the night after, the same night, I can't really remember, I kept hearing this owl hooting. Not outside my window, a bit kind of further away in the distance. I opened my window, tried to see, but I've never seen it. But it's still hooting, I can still hear it on the night. And I had this idea of me being in this kind of secret night garden where this owl suddenly swoops in, majestically, wanting to pass on his wisdom. And that's why I called it Majestic Wisdom, Sagesse Majestueuse in French. Here I have laid it flat on the table and just gone in with some, I like to do drawing in between layers as well. Going in with some oil pastels. I think I've actually started with oil paints here. Yeah, I think that's oil on my palette. So I'm going in with some oil pastels, crayons. This owl's face changed, went through so many transformations, changed so much throughout the painting, as did the flowers. But it's all part of the process. I do like to work on my canvas upside down. I often keep turning it to look at it from a different kind of viewpoint, see things differently. Especially when I'm struggling, and I was struggling a little bit with these kind of rose type flowers. Here I've got my oil paints out on this old mirror that I found in the attic. I was looking for a piece of glass, but I found this, an old mirror, which is really handy for oil paints. It's really good. Here I'm using oil pastels again. Back to the palette knife with oil paints this time. You can see that my paint palette has got quite busy. I do try to keep my warm colours and cold colours on opposite sides. Try to stay a bit organised. At the end I always go in with a smaller brush, just putting those last minute details in. And here going in as well with some gold oil pastel. I really love this. What's the make of it? Sennelier, I think. Few close-ups here, you can really see where I've gone in with the gold at the end. Well, I say the end, but you can see in the bottom right I worked again on that rose and it changed yet again, for it went into the exhibition recently. lots of nice comments and people asking me about if they could get some prints, so I'm working with a printer at the minute, so depending on when you're watching this video, maybe they're done already. Thanks for watching, see you again soon, bye bye, au revoir.